Good morning, everybody. 9 a.m., 24 degrees outside on this Monday morning. And as Patrick predicted all morning long, we had a little bit of a burst of snow with some snow making its way across the lake. It went through all of western New York, but just as quickly as it came in, it left the area. But the timing couldn't have been worse with the morning commute really slowing down a lot of spots. We'll get in touch with Lance Mellon in just a few minutes to find out how the roads are now at 9 a.m. once the morning commute has really died down a little bit. But Patrick is up on the roof right now, still decorated for Christmas, which I am really okay with. My Christmas tree is still up, all of my decorations. I hate it when, you know, the new year comes and everyone puts their trees out to the front yard. I'm not ready for it. I just want to stay festive.
Yeah, okay, couple questions. A,
yes?
I took ours down yesterday. Easiest way to get the lights off. It's almost impossible. Sometimes you just have to tip the tree over and go caveman style.
Okay, that's not exactly how I would do it, because then they're all tangled up.
Oh, well, so, you know, I like to weave the lights in and out of the tree.
Yes.
So then to take it out, you're pulling all these needles off.
No, you just got to wrap it up around your arm
Okay.
as you're walking around and doing it, because you will really thank yourself next year when you have to put the lights back on. If you just do like the strip method,
no.
then it's just it's a disaster.
Right. Okay, second question.
Yes.
Does the garbage man take your tree
Somebody takes the tree.
if you leave it out in the front?
Yeah. I don't
Okay.
know I don't think it's the garbage man. I think it's the town of Hamburg, or in my case, the town of Amherst.
Okay.
I mean,
you know,
somebody
it'd be
does.
really
It doesn't
cool
just stay out there.
If the town of Amherst came to get my Hamburg tree, that would be something.
That would be newsworthy.
Okay, because I've never known they could. So I take
So
it
what do
out.
you normally do with it? Take it to a dumpster?
Or sometimes we have a summer campfire.
Okay.
You just kind of torch it.
Sure.
You know.
That's fine too. But yes,
Safely.
you can leave it out on your.
Okay,
front lawn.
we've always like just chopped it up or done something with it.
Oh, okay.
Or in the
sure.
backyard, we have a carcass of 7 Christmas trees.
Oh my gosh, your little Christmas tree graveyard in the backyard.
That's exactly what it is. behind the fence.
Your neighbors really love you, don't they?
It's only seen by us, don't worry. All right, moving on.
Okay.
The snow, like you said, came and went, and it deposited about half an inch of new snow up here, and it is long gone. So let's take a look at the forecast, and you'll see that the snow is pushing out. A quick look at the next 5 days. Rain tomorrow and again on Friday, as we have a much warmer week of weather ahead. There goes the snow. It is done. It is now pushing through Rochester, heading towards Syracuse. Here is a snapshot of this afternoon with temperatures in the 30s under mostly cloudy skies. And then tomorrow at 6, quiet weather to start the day, but look at what happens the second half of the day. It fills in with rain. So it is going to get a little sloppy with snow melt and some rain. Lots of puddles coming. Once again, next 5 days offers rain Tuesday, then again on Friday. And if we extended this out, Saturday will be wet. Temperatures into the low 50s on Saturday, followed by some snow showers on Sunday. So there we go. Not as cold as last week, and certainly not as wild as last week, but some active weather over the next 5 days.
Okay, we'll be ready for it, Patrick. Thank you. And the snow this morning did cause some issues on the morning commute. As we said, this is the 90 westbound, just past the Big Blue Water Tower, kind of near the 33. Some slow traffic there, not too bad, but definitely some brake lights and a little bit of congestion there. But it was a rough go in many spots during the morning commute, particularly the 190 and then other spots along the 90 east and westbound as well. So let's check in with Lance Mellon to find out what went wrong, how things were cleared up, and if there are any other issues right now. Hey there, Lance.
Hey, thanks a lot, Melissa. Yeah, it only takes a little bit of snow, and it didn't really seem to coat the roadways too much. We didn't have any, spin outs or anything like that, but maybe just that little bit of snow with the added volume after, the holiday break for schools and just folks taking days off work. It certainly added to our issues this morning. We had a few accidents being the 190 south. I mean, we had one right near the 198, so nice and clear for now. That's improved a lot, but like you just showed, the 90, we had a couple of other accidents right near Walden Avenue in both directions. And they've both been cleared, but still a little slow westbound here between the 290 and the 33. Still a little bit of a line getting onto the inbound 33 on the far left. And still some brake lights on the 290 east. We've been scanning cameras along Millersport Highway, Sheridan Drive, and now really it seems like those have thinned out because heading towards the Blue Water Tower doesn't seem to be much of an issue. But I wanted to show you real quick. We were tracking the snow this morning. It seems like it has cleared most of the Buffalo area, the surrounding suburbs. But like Patrick said, if you're heading out towards maybe Batavia or Rochester, it's still coming down through those stretches and starting to stick just a little bit to the roadway. So if that's part of your late morning commutes, heading out towards Genesee County, plan for wintry travel through that section for now. Melissa, back over to you.
As you mentioned, though, Lance, we definitely were seeing heavier volume with the kids going back to school and folks going back to work. And so you'll want to keep that in mind throughout the rest of the week, even though we aren't expecting to see a lot of snow in the morning commutes for the rest of the week. We do know that traffic will be heavier than we've been used to. So always a good reminder. Lance, thank you. And we'll see you tomorrow morning on Daybreak beginning at 5 a.m. Thanks, Lance. Some breaking news right now. We're trying to learn more about a deadly incident out of Lockport. Police say a 63-year-old man fell to his death yesterday afternoon. We just learned about this within the past half hour. We know that police responded to Urban Park Towers, which is an apartment building, a high-rise. Investigators say the man fell from the 8th floor. Police have not released his identity. They haven't said whether it was an accident or whether it was something intentional or if an investigation is underway. We do know that the investigation is underway right now. Police have said that they want to notify the family first, and then we will learn about the victim's identity and more about what exactly happened again at the Urban Park Towers on Main Street yesterday in Lockport. So stay with Channel 2 for that developing story. And also developing now, we're trying to get more details about an incident that happened at the home of Vice President J.D. Vance. This is video of the Vance residence in Cincinnati, Ohio. You can see some of the windows appear to be broken. It's not yet known exactly what happened at his home, and Vance was not in Ohio when it happened. But the Secret Service says they do have a suspect, and they'll release a statement sometime later today. Well, now major international news this morning. It's all playing out in New York City. The world continues to react to the United States capture of Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro, and he is appearing in a New York City courtroom this morning. While all of that's happening, some members of Congress will also be briefed on the operation to capture Maduro and what comes next. 2 on your sides, Rob Hackford is joining us live right now in the newsroom with more on the charges that Maduro is facing and why he's in New York. This is all playing out, Rob, right now. What's the latest?
Yeah, Melissa, Maduro and his wife Celia Flores are charged with narco-terrorism conspiracy. They've arrived at this Manhattan courtroom. In a new indictment unsealed Saturday, prosecutors in the Southern District of New York accused Maduro of overseeing a state-sponsored cocaine trafficking network. You're taking a live look at the courthouse right now. Maduro and Flores were transferred from a Brooklyn jail to this facility for arraignment. The Southern District specializes in prosecuting these major drug trafficking cases, which is why Maduro and Flores were brought to New York pending their arraignment. Now, Maduro was transferred again from a jail in Brooklyn this morning, unloaded from an armored vehicle. The White House also has shared some video of Maduro handcuffed and being walked down a hallway by federal agents. Now, this morning, we're learning new details about the strike in Venezuela as well, including the fact that 150 American aircraft were involved in this, and a secret CIA team had laid the groundwork for this for months. Now, President Trump asserting the U.S. is in charge of the country and that Venezuela's interim president, who is a close Maduro ally, is now cooperating despite these comments over the weekend.
We demand the immediate release of President Nicolas Maduro and his wife, the only president of the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela.
We're going to run everything. We're going to run it, fix it. We'll have elections at the right time. But the main thing you have to fix is a broken country.
Well, the president is threatening a second strike if cooperation does not continue, although that does not seem to be the indication this morning, saying that American oil companies are going to be going into Venezuela to rebuild the infrastructure there. There is credible evidence that Maduro was pushed out of office last year, but refused to give up power, creating this complex situation. A bounty was put out for Maduro as well, which has sparked protests, about the rule of law after these U.S. strikes, but also some statements of appreciation in Venezuela and from Venezuelan Americans.
Venezuela soil! Hands up, Venezuela soil! No blood for oil! No blood.
As American Venezuelans, we understand the Americans' point of view. Even if it's legal or it's not legal, or who is doing this, or the way it's been done, we get it, but we feel happy about it.
I'm happy, I'm afraid, but I'm very, very happy, and thanks God, because somebody help us. We need help, his help.
On a divided Capitol Hill, similar differing perspectives here. Democrats, including New York Senator Chuck Schumer and Congressman Tim Kennedy, have issued statements indicating that they believe the administration should have asked for permission. Well, Republican Representatives Nick Langworthy and Claudia Tenney, though, is standing by the president's action against Maduro and the efforts to stabilize the country. NBC sources tell us that the lawmakers on Capitol Hill are set to be briefed on this matter today. The UN Security Council is also set to meet to discuss the legality of these actions, all while Maduro and his wife prepare to face a judge in that Manhattan courtroom. We expect to have updates throughout the day here. Cameras are not allowed in these courtrooms, but we will receive some new information from the reporters down there as they exit that after the arraignment.
Right, and we will have the latest on Channel 2 News midday at 11 a.m. on Channel 2 and also at noon on our streaming newscast right here on WGRZ+. Rob, thanks for those updates this morning. This weekend, snow shovelers once again answered the call to help get Highmark Stadium ready for yesterday's big game. And this was a really special opportunity for many, as it's likely the last time that fans will be called in to help clear the snow from Highmark. People from all over the country actually came together this time to prepare the stands for the final game at the current Highmark Stadium. We spoke with Bills fans about why they chose to come out and shovel, including one who made the trip all the way from Florida to be here with the Sun.
That's why he bought the tickets and invited me to come along with him, and that's why we're here. It's the last one, you know. So it's cool.
I think this is what brings people together. I mean, there's people from all over, a guy from Florida, Texas. I mean, Bills fans from everywhere coming here just to get the experience and to have fun. So
it's nice to come together as a city and as a fan base and have a good time and experience this with other people who are just as passionate about the Bills.
Yeah, a couple of 100 Bills fans were there to shovel. They were all given $20 an hour, plus some Highmark gloves and also the new limited edition Bud Light Blizzard Brew, all to celebrate that regular season game. So Buffalo, right? All right, well, that was the shoveling to get ready for the game. We'll talk about the game itself and get insight from NFL insider Vic Carucci when we come back. All right, let the chase for the Super Bowl begin. The Bills will be in Jacksonville to take on the Jaguars this Sunday at 1 p.m. And NFL insider Vic Carucci joined Pete and me earlier this morning on Daybreak to talk about the matchup.
Yeah, it's so funny, guys, how the nostalgia and those warm, fuzzy feelings that dominated yesterday are suddenly gone because the focus is on the win-or-go-home nature of this game. And Jacksonville poses a big challenge. Let's start with the fact that Trevor Lawrence, their quarterback, is playing the best football of his career. And, of course, coming into the league as a top overall pick, there were a lot of expectations for him. But he seems to have finally found the groove that a lot of people thought he had. And Liam Cohen, the first-year head coach of the Jaguars, is a big reason for that. Liam Cohen was the offensive coordinator previously in Tampa and did a lot of good things with Baker Mayfield. But now he has an even more talented, larger, athletic quarterback who, by the way, with the ability to move as well as throw, gets a lot of comparison to Josh Allen.
Yeah, I've heard him called Josh Allen 2.0. So, yeah, a force to be reckoned with for sure, Vic. Now, as for the game yesterday, we really didn't learn much since Josh just took one snap, and it was a lot of, you know, the backups that played yesterday. But would you say the biggest key for the team this week is just getting healthier?
Yeah, and the unfortunate part for the Bills of yesterday was health took a negative turn in a couple of places. One is kicker. Matt Prater had that quad issue already, and he aggravated it or further injured it, whatever it might be, but enough that he could not finish the game. My sense is he's not going to be kicking for the Bills Sunday at Jacksonville, and that as we speak, this team's search for a replacement kicker for that game is on, and we'll probably find out later today who that is. They had multiple kickers in for tryouts last week, and it turns out that, of course, they've got Prater back healthy after they had released Michael Badgley, and finding someone competent at this point who's available going to be a tough thing. The other thing, Max Hairston, cornerback. Sean McDermott was kind of vague about what the injury was, suggesting, I guess, that it was an ankle of some sort injury. We'll see where that goes, but the depth at corner also being challenged. But for the most part, yeah, they got through healthy and got through with a feel-good kind of win that really didn't mean that much.
Yeah, well, it meant a lot to the fans who were there because it was a great send-off for the original Highmark Stadium before we move across the street. Now, Vic, you were talking earlier with John Scott about just kind of looking around and taking in the memories. I was doing the same thing. I'm like, I was over there for the comeback game. I was up there for the Who concert in '82. And it was kind of, that was the spirit of the night.
It really was. The mood for the game really was incredible, something I had not seen before, but I think the circumstances would lend it to that. For me, this is 43 years of being in that place, of covering this team, but not just Sundays or whenever games were played in there. It was during the week, because the administration building used to have an area that served as the media room. So I adding up all those hours, all those days from the time of landing here in 1982, before we had kids, and before those kids had grandkids, our grandkids, the whole thing to me was just a surreal almost experience. Before the game, I never did this. Before the game, I took a lap. I just walked around the entire stadium and drank it all in. And then after the game, the crowd stays in the stands, which is in and of itself remarkable too, that nobody left. You had a blowout game going on. A lot of people want to beat the traffic. Most people just wanted to stay and savor. So as I'm out there on the field, I'm doing the same thing. I'm walking around the interior of the stadium, again, looking up into the stands and letting it kind of wash all over me. It really was something, and it's something I'm still feeling as we speak.
Yeah, absolutely. There wasn't a dry eye in the house when Mr. Brightside came on. Yeah. I mean, it was a moment for sure.
Yeah, Vic, thanks for sharing all that with us this morning, and we'll see more of you and hear more from you tonight on Sports Talk Live right here on Channel 2 with John Scott at 7 p.m. Vic,
all right.
Thank you. And if you want to hear more from Vic, again, Sports Talk Live tonight at 7 p.m. Talking more about the Bills, looking ahead to the Jags, and talking Sabres as well. Mm-hmm. But, we were kind of saying that, well, there were a lot of memories to be had in Highmark Stadium over the decades. To me,
they're still here.
We still have the team. There was talk about the team going to Toronto and losing the Bills altogether in Buffalo. You're getting a massive upgrade. Yeah, you're going from a tiny little house to a mansion.
The Bills are moving 400 yards.
Right. It's still, everything's going to be upgraded and lovely and state of the art. I don't know. Okay. Great. Thanks for the memories. Let's build even better ones and win a Super Bowl.
Men, do you really like using the trough in the men's room? I mean, I think we're going to get an upgrade in those things. I mean, it's
how crowded the concourse is when you're standing in line for a beer and you can't see the game.
Right.
Now you're going to be standing in line and watching the game. I kind of will miss that there won't be snow on the field,
Right.
because there will be this snow melting system. There won't be as much snow in the stands. I love seeing people throw the snow up in the air and
so
the snowballs
fun.
and that type of thing. But there are going to be so many upgrades that the audio system is going to be so much better, and you'll be able to hear Mr. Brightside a lot better when it plays. I don't know. I just am excited about the future for this team, for the city, for the stadium, and I'm not shedding. Pete said there wasn't a dry eye in the house. I don't know. I wouldn't have been crying if I was there. I would have been like, all right, let's get moving.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And I agree. I mean, it's an old friend. I get it, and especially people that have had season tickets for years, and they really got to know the people they sat around. Those are cool stories. I love hearing that.
And maybe it is more about the memories that you would have shared with a loved one who is passed. And if your dad took you to all the games, or your grandfather, and you sat in that seat, the same one for decades. Yes, I can see how those memories are emotional. It's not about the building. It's about the memories that you've created with loved ones and with the team. But that's not going to go away. You still have those memories and those pictures. You'll just have it in a better stadium. I don't know. Those are
now I
my
want to
thoughts.
focus on this game. I mean, you hear this is the Bills' year. You sometimes hope it's the case with our roster, but we have 3 away games, road games to win to get to the goal. And it's not going to be easy.
Right. It's likely looking, obviously it's Jacksonville, and then it would likely be the Patriots and Denver. Or Denver
Patriots.
Denver Patriots, I should say.
Right.
Not going to be easy. The Bills have had moments of greatness, and then also some scary moments this season where it's like, who is this team? What is this team?
Right.
And hopefully they'll peak at the right time.
Right.
But yeah, facing Trevor Lawrence, the Bills 2.0, or Josh Allen 2.0, as a lot of people call him, is a little frightening.
Right.
And we also need a kicker.
That could be
Vic mentioned.
Now, there's one way of thinking about this. This will force the Bills to go for 2 every time they score a touchdown. So maybe that's a good thing. Or
well, look at what happened when they went for 2 a week ago.
That's what I'm saying. Oh yeah, that was a fluke. That was an easy 2. Josh just accidentally
didn't see the really open player right there.
No, the 2 is where he just overthrew him a little bit. Shakir, that one.
Yeah, he was totally open.
Yeah. Oh, I know. Yes, I see what you're saying. Yeah, but it was like, I think he just.
Or there was someone else who was totally open.
There were a couple of end zone trips where I guess he didn't see an open. Okay. My point is, you're right. I think it's a big deal. You saw what happened in the Ravens game last night. Ravens.
Where the kick matters.
Steelers were the kick. Did you see?
Well, Buffalonians know that the kick matters.
Yes, and his was wide in the same direction, by the way. And then to see the poor guy, he's a rookie. And did you see? I mean, he put his hands into his helmet. We're talking about the kicker had a chance to win the game for the Ravens, and he missed.
Right.
And the season's over, which puts the entire weight of the season. Yeah, I mean, it's just. Anyway, the point is, kicks matter, and you hope our team does not come down to a kick, and we don't have a kicker that they can trust. Because any kicker available right now is available for a reason. They're not playing right now for a reason. So it's hard to imagine we're going to get somebody really good.
How about Mitch Trubisky, though?
He looked awesome.
How good was he yesterday?
He was dealing.
And it would be great to keep him as a backup here in Buffalo.
But he can start.
He could start. And we were saying, Elliot brought it up, actually. He's like, well, he could start for the Chiefs. If Patrick Mahomes isn't back.
Do you remember, he was a #1 draft pick.
Yeah.
Right? I think he was the first #1 a couple years ago. Mitch, and then he went, I forget, Bears? Anyway, he's a good quarterback. We just don't see it that often because he's never really needed. Which is fine.
Grateful for.
But no, he looked great.
Yeah.
A lot of things looked great. Now, but you heard of Maxwell Harrison got an injury. We don't know about how bad that
Ray
is.
Davis also looked amazing, so it was good to see some
Ray
play.
Davis looked like, hello, where did that?
He can also kick, right?
That's right.
All right. We'll talk about a lot more coming up. Well, not a lot, because we only have 5 minutes left in the show. We'll be back. Stay with us. All right, yes, all the talk has been the Bills, but how about the Sabres? Yeah, they went for 10. They had 10 in a row. They were going for 11 in a row. That didn't go so well. They actually looked pretty terrible a couple nights ago. But they are trying to get things back on track when they play the Vancouver Canucks tomorrow at KeyBank Center. It's also Pride Night there. But as for the game that they lost, it would have broken a franchise record
Right.
if they did win.
They just looked,
11 in a
they were
row.
kind of lifeless.
It was bad.
Yeah.
They lost 5-1. They did not look good. They just kind of looked a little burned out when they lost to the Blue Jackets on Saturday night.
It's hard to
Saturday
keep.
afternoon.
It's hard to keep that momentum up.
Right, and there's so many games in this season. They're out of a playoff spot right now, but again, there are so many games in this season. And they're not far out of a playoff spot, 2 points. They're not far from the top of the conference. And so we'll see which Sabres team we get when they play the Canucks here at KeyBank Center tomorrow night at 7.
Yeah, it's how you respond. How you respond.
Yeah.
Like if they go and win what you don't want to see is what happened in 2018.
Right.
When they won 10 in a row, then lost.
And then lost so many in a
Right.
row. It was really interesting. I gave blood a few weeks ago, and for giving blood at the Connect Life, you got 2 free Sabres tickets.
Oh.
That was the special in December, and early in December, they really weren't that great.
Right.
And so then all of a sudden it's like, oh, now tickets are expensive again to go to the game. So it was kind of a good deal. So I'm excited to go root on the Sabres tomorrow night and hope that they can start another winning streak again. And once
It's a good team to do it against. Vancouver's like one of the lower teams in the NHL. So hopefully.
We shall see.
Yep.
We'll give you highlights. But again, that game is tomorrow night. So, okay, that wraps up Daybreak for today. We'll see you back on Daybreak from 4:30 to 9:30 tomorrow. Have a great day.